Hello, everybody. Um, Good afternoon or good evening. How are you today? Welcome to another great day with me. Um, let's see who will be our first viewer today. Let's see who will be our first viewer. So, I guess as much because you said you will be with us. How are you? Um, Arinze Gabriel, how are you doing today? Please, as you are coming, if you're going to watch this video now or you're going to watch it later, please share this video and let it get to every parent or guardian. Like I used to say, share this video so people can know the importance of knowledge. The importance of knowledge. So someone else is up. Let's see. King Garinze, how are you today? Just write something. How did your day go? I'm sure beautiful. I'm sure very beautiful. So yesterday I taught on I did a series on Alagbodeyemi. How are you today? So good to see you. I did a series on caution to parents. That was what I taught about yesterday, and I must say thank you so much. It was so powerful, and I had so much shares, and people commented even as of today, which is highly commendable. So today I'm going to be sharing some few insights on the things you must know, the basic things your kids must be taught, your children, the basic things they must know. We have observed that when they get to a new place or when they get to school, whether the four walls of the university or other places, you can easily know the way they've been taught. You can easily know their values. Just by having an interaction with them, you can easily deduce, you can easily know that you can just have an idea of who they are. It might not be completely, but you can have an idea of who they are. So what are the basic things you must teach your kids? What are the basic things you must teach your kids? Number one of the most important things you have to, teach your children is the ability to express themselves. Let me say that again. One of the basic things you need to teach your kids is the ability to express themselves. They must be able to stand upright to express themselves. So what do I mean by expressing themselves? I categorized it under three. One, in terms of writing. They must be able to express themselves, in writing. It's so important for them. Two, they must be able to express themselves in speaking. Number three, they must be able to express themselves in action. So I mentioned three things. Number one, they must be able to welcome Flo Bello. As you come, please let's go and share this so that people can know that the class is going on. So one, I said they must be able to express themselves in writing. Two, they must be able to express themselves in speaking. Number three, they must be able to express themselves in action. So you must pay, as a parent or guardian or as a tutor, you must pay attention to the gesture of your kids. You must pay attention. My beautiful wife is online. How are you, babe? Love you so much. You must pay attention to the gesture of your kids, how they act, how they talk. You must pay attention to their writings. Teach them to document how they feel in a book. Teach them to document. So sometimes you might not be around, but let them always have a jotter. I usually call it a journal where they can document how they feel. So remember, the first thing you must teach your children is the ability to express themselves. Tell them when they get to any place, when they get to university, they have to be able to stand up upright to ask questions. Not timidly. Tell them to be bold, stand upright, and ask questions. So teach them how to express themselves. Number 2, another point you must teach your children is you must teach them to value books. You must teach your kids to value books. The generation of today, greetings Nana John, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Bengaku, so good to see you. The generation of today, they hardly read. And that's why you find a lot of ignorant people, ignorant youth. This morning I woke up and I said, one of the things that came to my mind this morning is the urgency to re-educate the youth in Nigeria and all over the world generally. So teach your kids to value books. So that should tell you something as a parent. That should tell you something as a guardian. Do you have a library in your house? Do you have a library at home? So if you don't have a library at home, if you don't have a well-structured library at home, don't expect your kids to love books. Don't expect them to love to read books. If you don't have a library at home, and also if they don't see you reading books, don't expect them to love books. So the second point is, teach your kids to value books. Teach your kids to value books. Let them know the importance of reading. Let them know the importance of having a library. It's very important. So number 2, teach your kids to value books. Number 3, one of the things as a parent that you also need to do is you have to learn to sit down and study with your kids. You have to sit down and study with your kids. By studying with your kids, you will be able to understand their learning patterns. I hope you know there are different types of learning patterns. I'm going to teach that one of these days. The different ways by which your child learns. We all have different ways. Some people is by audio. Some people love reading books. Some people love visuals, watching things. So you must sit down to actually study with your kids. You must know their reading pattern. You must know their strength when it comes to knowledge and reading. By sitting down to study with them, you will also be able to know the areas they are good at. You'll be able to know their strength. So sit down as a parent or a guardian to study with your kids. Parenting is a lot of work. The reason why we have failed society, the reason why we have failed economies, the reason why we have failed institutions is because parenting is not being done seriously. So parenting is a lot of hard work. So before you bring up a kid into this world, you have to be ready to give it your all to ensure that that child becomes the best version of his or herself. That's number 3. Number 4. Teach your kids to ask questions. Teach your kids to ask questions. If they're not asking you questions, know that there's something wrong. Know that it's not normal not to ask questions. It's not normal. So if you get, even as an adult, if you get to a gathering and you find out that after people finish teaching you and you can't ask them questions, or even the teacher is not telling you, do you have any questions for me? Then there's a problem, because there will always be questions. You will always have questions. It's just how God built us. It's just how God built our curiosity. So you must teach your kids to ask questions, and they are not foolish questions. What is foolish to a child, what people call foolish question, might be wisdom to a lot of people. So teach your kids to. Don't shut your kids up. Don't shut them up. Allow them ask questions. Don't punish them for asking questions. Thank you so much, LeBron. Mohammed, my friend, how are you? Don't punish your kids for asking questions. Allow them ask you a lot of questions, because if they don't ask you questions, the society is going to teach them. The society is going to shape them. The society is going to push things at them. So allow them to ask you questions. That's one thing. You must train them to question things. You must also train them to question themselves. It's so important. Number five, train your kids to always speak the truth. Train your kids to always stand on the path of truth. Let them know something. There are two people who are remembered by history. There are two set of people remembered by history. Those who stand on the path of truth and those who compromise. For those who compromise, they are remembered for their compromise. For those who stand on the path of truth, they are remembered for truth and the right things. Today I was studying, and I found out that I've always known, but I got to understand that Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. 27 years. And they just did his, I think, 100 posthumous birthday, or what do they call it? And people are still celebrating him. That's just, the value of standing on the path of truth. So always teach them the importance. You must inculcate it in them from the beginning, deliberately. Don't be passive. Don't think it doesn't matter. It matters because the truth is going to sustain them. Number six. One of the things you should do as a parent or a guardian is to let your kids know about history. History of various events. It could be church history. It could be a lot of Reformation history. It could be a lot of things. But ensure you put them through the path of history. Let them have flair for history. History simply means something that's happened in the past. For you to fix a problem now, maybe economic problems now, you need to understand what has happened in the past to be able to provide a solution to what is happening and to be able to make predictions of what is to come. Involve your kids in history classes. If they tell you it's boring, let them sit down and study like that. It's going to help them when they get within the four walls of the university. So it simply means that, like I said earlier, it simply means that as a parent, you also will need to be very, very studious. You will need to dedicate a lot of your time in studying. So teach your kids the importance of history. Number seven. I mentioned this slightly yesterday. Let your kids know the importance of being neat, being tidy, and being orderly. Let your kids know the importance of being neat, tidy, and orderly. If you see a functioning society, just go and observe a functioning society. One thing you would notice is that they are very orderly. So you must teach your kids right from the start the importance of order. It's so important. So teach them what it means to be neat, teach them what it means to be tidy, and also teach them the importance of order. What number am I now? Number 8. As a parent or a guardian, you owe your kids vacation. You owe your kids a lot of vacations. The reason is because vacation is one of the best forms of education. Vacation is one of the best forms of education. So you owe them vacation to another society. It could be to another country. It could be within your location also. But the importance of that is they will be able to see things from another angle. They will be able to observe another culture. They will be able to see a different way of doing things. Because if you think that your way is the best way of doing things, go to another place and you see another way whereby they used to do it. So as a parent or guardian, you owe your kids vacation. Take them out. You owe your family vacation. Take them out. Go to some countries to learn. Observe nature in those countries. Observe their culture. Observe their architectural buildings. Observe their lifestyle. Observe their way of doing things. Observe their reaction to things. Those are the best forms of education, actually. Those are the best forms of education. So as a parent or guardian, you owe your kids vacation. You owe it to them. That's number 8. Number 9. I also mentioned this yesterday. Teach your kids the value of money. It's so important for you to teach your kids the value of money. Sorry. You cannot overlook that fact. You have to sit them down. You have to teach them planning. You have to teach them savings. You have to teach them investment. If you look at Africa as a whole now, one of the things that lag behind in Africa is knowledge on savings and investment. Even when people save, they don't know how, they don't know where to invest their money. It's a big problem. So you need to do that work. You need to find out what it means to invest. You need to sit them down and teach them the value of savings and investment. You can't overlook it. You can't overlook it. I already said that yesterday in my post, so you can go back and go through what I taught yesterday. Number 10. As a parent or guardian, you have to teach your kids the value of time. The value of time and conversion. Beautiful. You have to teach your kids the value of time and conversion. So it simply means that it's not just enough for you to use your time well. You also need to be converting that time into something that is tangible, whether as a young person or as an adult. So it's not enough for you to say, okay, I'm managing my time, I'm using my time well. One of the things you would ask yourself is, what am I using that time to do? What am I using it to do? Am I writing books? Am I inventing something? Am I coming up with a product? Am I coming up with a service? Am I impacting people's lives? So it's not enough for you to teach your kids the value of time. You also need to teach them the value of conversion. You need to teach them the value of conversion. So number 10, I said, teach your kids the value of time and conversion. They must be able to account for their time. It's so important for them. Number 11, from a very young age, from as your children grow up, it's our duty, and as a parent, as a guardian, as a parent, to teach them the value of hard work. Please, let's go and share this as you come in. Please share it. Someone will be inspired by this. Teach your kids the value of hard work. Teach your kids the value of hard work. And when I say hard work, I'm not just saying, I usually say it a lot. If you cannot work on your mind on a daily basis, then you are very lazy. Very, very lazy. You know, when the president of Nigeria said, Nigerian youths are lazy. The president of Nigeria said, Nigerian youths are lazy. And people were very angry. I'm not lazy. I'm very hardworking. I'm not lazy. Do you know the truth? You want to know the truth? An average Nigerian is lazy. Lazy in the terms of people cannot sit down to actually study, to feed their mind positively. It's one of the challenges of our generation. People just want to play out their life. They are just interested in jamboree. They just want to play from morning to evening. They just want to work. They just want to talk up their time. They just want to live under pleasure. That's the kind of people we are breeding. So if you cannot work on your mind, you are lazy. So what is hard work? Hard work is the ability to constantly feed your mind with the things that are noble, kind, good, healthy. I know you will need to use your energy. You will need to use your energy to move. I know it's important for you to use your energy in terms of you want to go out, you want to get things done. But the point is, the greatest work you will ever do is the ability to work on your mind. So, teach your kids the importance of focusing on nourishing their mind. It's good to dress well, but if you are ugly on the inside, if you are empty on the inside, if your inside is blank, then you are empty overall, totally. So life is not a function of what you wear or what I wear. Life is a function of what I have within me. Life is a function of what I have within me. So you have to see to it as a parent or guardian that your children, they are feeding on the right information. Ensure that they are feeding on the right information. Be concerned about what they feed their minds with. Be so concerned about it. Because after physical food, after you call them, ask them, have you eaten? And they tell you yes. The next question to ask them is, have you fed your mind today? So what have you read? What have you studied? What have you learned? What is something new you've learned today? The reason why Africa is the way it is today is because the minds of our youth are not challenged. They are not intellectually engaged. They are not engaged intellectually. Outwardly, they are engaged. They want the latest cars. They just want everything fanciful. But the thing that makes their life meaningful, zero. It's not everybody, but that's why the country is like that. And number 12, this is one of the important things you must do. You must teach your kids the value of technology. The importance and the value of technology. Teach them how to use it. Don't just give them gadgets. Don't just dash them gadgets. Okay, just go and be using. No. You have to teach them the importance of the gadget they are using. You have to teach them, you have to let them know the role internet, the role technology plays. So when they are alone, they won't be feeding themselves with garbage. When I say garbage, it could be songs that are not meaningful, that are not valuable. When I say garbage, it could be pornography. When I say garbage, it could be films that have so much of killings in them. You know, everything you watch, anything they watch has a picture of replaying in their minds. So it's important you teach them what technology is all about. You need to let them know the value and how it's shaping our world today. For example, I'm talking and I'm speaking, and different people from all over the world are listening to me. That is the beauty of technology. So you must let them know the importance, and you must also let them know the dangers in it. Because if you are not careful, social media can dictate who you are. It can dictate what your family should do if you don't know you as a man or a woman, or if your child doesn't know who he or she is. So let them know the importance of technology, both the good and the bad sides. I hope you've been able to learn something. I hope you've been able to learn something. I can see a lot of people watching me. Thank you so much. Let me just say hello to everybody. Arinze, thank you, and I hope you learned something. You can just write something you've learned. Let me just know what you've learned in particular. And I'll be here tomorrow again. Alagbalawale, so good to see you. How are you? King Arinze, Flo Bello, Olamo Joseph, Benga Kutelu the photographer, Nana John. Queen Nana John, how are you? I'm waving at you. Mr. Biodo, Mandy, how are you? Atolagbe, I salute you. How are you, sir? Adedoyin Saint Oluwaseun. Atolagbe said, preach it, sir. Thank you. Atolagbe also said, safe to build the knowledge paradise. Yeah, knowledge is very important. Mohammed, your surname is always, my goodness. Mohammed, let me just say Mohammed, how are you today? Lebron Michael, how are you, Lebron? Thank you so much. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep it up, and I'll be here tomorrow again. Seun Yaya, how are you? Mr. Abiodun Lushola, how are you? Lizzie Johnson. Adetunji, how are you? My namesake. Samuel Redefined. Steads Ezekiel. Charles Adeniji. Ogabito Milona. So good to see you guys today. I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be teaching on ignorance. I'll be teaching on the danger of ignorance. That's what I'll be teaching on tomorrow. And I hope I'm going to see you by 6 o'clock Cyprus time. That's 4 p.m. Nigerian time and UK time. Please, let's go and hit our share button. Let's go and hit our share button so that people can listen to this. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you with this. I love you so much. Bye, and God bless you.